Good morning, chat.
Good morning, chat.
Hello, everyone. You all hear the music. You know what this means.
Today we're ending, hopefully for Jay, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations.
This is it. We are going to reach the end of the Ace Attorney trilogy today. It's gonna happen. We're at the last case of the last game. I hope it's the last case of the last game. Gonna be some reveals like, oh, actually, you unlocked the secret fourth Ace Attorney game in the Phoenix Wright trilogies. And I'm just gonna cry. Not much to talk about other than we have to end the game today because I'm going to be gone next week. So next, let me pull up calendar.
He's escaping from his responsibility, G.
So I will be here. There will be one more stream of Yakuza 5 Remastered Legend on the 15th of November. But next week, on Saturday, November 18th, I will be gone. And all of next week, of the week after, so November 22nd, November 25th, I will also be out. And not able to stream any games, which I am very disappointed by. But circumstances have arisen that I cannot avoid, so I have to be out. It's a bummer, and I'm going to miss you all, chat, and I'm going to miss doing this. But it must be done. And so it shall be done.
Well, that's okay, we will wait for you.
I can't think of much else that needs to be done. So...
let's get right into it.
So let's just get into it. You switch your view over. I forgot to switch the capture because I'm so good at this.
Because you're a professional gamer.
But here we go. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, Case 5, Bridge and Turnabout, Part 4-2 Trial. Here we go!
Here we go!
February 10th, 1:06 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 7. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness?
Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems to have learned the truth. Then we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that.
It's very, very comfortable for a dead person.
But when you see what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. ...
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night.
I don't believe anyone asked you about that, Your Honor. The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have died. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
Oh. So that means you really are... Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay?
Yes. You have a problem with that?
Yes.
Yes!
Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Yourself, Wright. You've got a problem. Solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Gatto is correct. And by the way, that's one of my rules as well. Guys, I think that's just one of the rules of the courtroom.
Yeah.
To kill Maya. True? Not to worry, I have a flawless strategy. Press everything.
Press everything!
You were executed last month, correct?
Yes. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
Also, a little fucking archaic. Like, I feel like this is the modern world. We have more humane methods of that, right? How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan.
I Are you crazy? At first that woman was planning to kill me as well. Even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearl Fey the master of Karain.
She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. As if she had one. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took the place of the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
A plan, huh? I have some of those sometimes. You're talking about Pearl Fey, is that correct?
Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us.
You and your twin sister Iris.
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us have much spiritual powers. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Abandoned?
The only person I've ever really cared about in this life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. Wow!
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
How horrible!
The really horrible one was that woman. That bitter woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fey. She was born with an abusance of spiritual powers, unfortunately for her. Morgan Fey kept her to their broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family.
Maya would have to die? But why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. Phoenix, yeah, that's why they tricked her. You know this!
Yeah.
She adores Maya.
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That is all.
That's ridiculous.
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well.
How could anyone do that?
Morgan could. Like, easily.
Because she's fucked up.
Yeah, she's a great mother, great master.
You were going to kill Maya?
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was to follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead and there's nothing you can do to me.
He just like pulls out a cross.
You fucking sure?
So the plan was to blame your crime on your younger twin. On Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they wouldn't think it was Iris that had done it.
And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wouldn't. But she wound up seeing Iris' crime anyway.
Why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister. Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstabber?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway,
You think the plan was a success?
you heard me. Just as the woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Now the title of the master will pass on to Pearl Fey.
That's absurd. Maya's she's just trapped. Trapped inside the sacred cavern. Trapped inside a freezing cold cavern for several days with no food and poor ventilation.
No
And
water.
oh fuck, Maya might be dead.
Maya might be dead. Pearl. Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my darling Feeny?
Oh, oh god. Oh, my body had like an immune response to that. My name.
Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivety and your pathetic faith in other people.
Just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fay's plan?
I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. And yet...
That's how you feel. Why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? I felt like it.
I feel like it. You may not understand it, being the kind of gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that.
Then tell me, why?
Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction.
What did you say? So this woman, Talia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead? I have a guess.
I think I
Get
have
back
the
at
same
the person that ruined you.
guess. Mia Fey.
Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore. Because I am already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take the revenge against them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone?
I was sentenced to die because of that woman. Mia Fey.
Somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, Jay, you stopped the stream. Okay. Sadly, then I realized revenge was impossible, and I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible? Perhaps because Mia Fey had already died. Because of a certain other idiot in this room?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Goto! Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
And how do you do that?
Are you serious, Your Honor? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hand. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plan.
Just for that? That you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. A cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time pitching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. Yeah, we already understand it, Dahlia. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put a demon waddling hood. Then I picked up the stuff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So, at least Donum who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey in the temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old bag.
What did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in the front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger and I got from the storeroom and...
So then you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory?
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
We're stabbed.
At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
That's not like her at all. I wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork. She'd have choked you with her bare hands.
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
That's where my memory temporarily stopped.
It stops? And I did die.
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. Okay, so there's a little but possibility that Maya is still alive. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in a thicket cavern surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern?
The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there.
How did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whatever or not Maya Fey was dead. And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
Oh, so she was actually just straight up in hell. Like, they're not,
Well,
like, obviously they're not using the word, but, like, she was in hell.
Yeah, I did.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
The trick lock stopped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
But then you're saying that you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern.
Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
What? Who? Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. so I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the second cabin.
That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya, Charles. Charles went there to cover the hanging squirrel in gravy.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late.
You mean by that?
The flight had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cabin and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck?
After the big earthquake, she showed up all by herself.
A real Iris.
She said she would come to make sure the second cabin was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the second cabin and got a feel for the situation. Oh, so that's when she kinda locked her away in my place. But still, how did she put on these locks? This is a psych lock.
I think the
funny.
psych locks just look like the weird trick locks that they use at the temple. So like the
you
trick
know
locks are
what?
modeled after the psych locks.
Maybe. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan was actually succeeding.
What do you mean your plan had succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fay.
Yeah, well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fay, the picture book after.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fay. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
That is...
Matricide, the sin of killing her own mother.
No way!
Oh fuck, oh fuck!
Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? I just told you what the meaning of matricide is, you old fool.
Want me to show it again?
I'll kill your mom!
I will make you kill your own mom. You're right. It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fay. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Mr. Fay's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
But like a very clear case could be made for self-defense now.
Yeah.
Because you've just laid out how you attacked her with intent to murder, so she had full legal right to defend herself. Right?
Yeah.
Anyone gonna acknowledge that?
Please, someone, anyone. Are you sure about that? Just think about it.
I think I'm the only one in this courtroom that is, Dahlia.
There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Fay had disappeared is evidence enough.
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the second covenant is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River.
Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever.
But we have living proof that it can also be survived.
Well, not kind of living anymore, but still.
I'm alive.
Like, oh yeah, I forgot. I thought you were talking about Dahlia.
No, Phoenix.
Oh, okay. So what do you have to say now, Finny?
Oh, I have to say, stop using that name, Dahlia. I'm not into women. At least not women like you. Phone call.
Dodo.
Whose phone is that? Oops. Sorry, that's my phone.
That's my phone.
What kind of ringtone is that?
Phoenix, shut up. You have a Still Samurai theme on your phone.
Yeah. Godo here. Okay. Thanks. Hey, was it something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? The accused, Sister Iris. Huh?
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
Sorry, my brain sort of tunes out your voice, Dahlia. So,
Hey.
what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No. Can't be.
Oh my god. I told you, didn't I? She is dead.
No. No! It seems this case has come to an end. Tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Donham, also known as Misty Fey, her own daughter, Maya Fey.
It can't be true. It can't.
Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death in the raging rivers, the Eagle River. It be. Wait. Ha! Right. You ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to be, Prosecutor Gatto? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. But wait a second. However, really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from. But
She
would hit
couldn't
the
have.
ground.
She wouldn't have hit the river.
Oh, Dahlia, Dahlia.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think the whole thing through again. So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River. And Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Yes, I do. Is it possible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side? No one knows that better than this witness.
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple is a big rock shelf. Oh! Oh! You're right! You wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. Ha! So you finally figured it out.
You... No!
Order! Order!
You're just playing with me! Maya Faye's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's no one else she could possibly be hiding.
Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth?
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
I know where Maya is. Maya Faye wasn't inside the Sacred Cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all of the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about?
It's obviously a bluff. So where's her dead body then? Out there.
Her dead body?
Lovely.
Well, that's not anywhere. I think the pieces are finally falling into place. For only the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya Faye is this very instant? Maya
She's
Faye
in this
is in
courtroom.
this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here.
What?
Maya Faye is here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Why that's obvious. It's Pearl Faye. That pathetic little sniveling runt. Faye.
You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. It was someone who called you before she could.
He was
Dick Gumshoe! No, it was Maya.
Maya.
This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already! I can't stand the tension! Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Maya Faye.
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal. She said that her goal was to kill Maya Faye. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Ha! Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. Where are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you.
To protect herself from me?
Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Faye. The path back to Hazakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean that's when she channeled me?
All this time, you thought you'd been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you.
No, no, don't say that! You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Fey killed herself. Isn't that obvious?
Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that, who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea?
Well, me, of course.
Mia!
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 Been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh wait, you were doing Mia. Or were you? Who was doing Mia?
I'm doing Mia.
Yes, do Mia. It's true. It was you.
Yes.
Ha! Or something else.
What are you doing here?
That hair. It's pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey! Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
She did. Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was at the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained into a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? Can't believe it! Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was...
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean?
It was a race against the time. Down to things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible. And lock herself into the sacred coven until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those two things?
If she didn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey.
Pearls?
Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan. So all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I would forget this!
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a failure.
Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you?
11 years ago... the fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! It wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid oath of a prisoner and that wiggling of the policewoman.
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. One stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny.
You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face!
And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape, even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Fey! You splinter! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like a sword of war! And if you had gotten the spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death! True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hoffman. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whatever you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity.
I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then, you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on, forever.
That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you will never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hoffman, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope for freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burned to a crisp. You are wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now.
I'm not ready to go.
Phoenix, did we just condemn a soul to hell?
Nick says.
Uh-oh.
You sleep.
That was a little too close to the Family Guy death pose. And now then! Did anybody else see that? Or have I been sitting in this chair too long? Hey,
Can someone please call an ambulance for Miss Faye?
I assume you are the real Iris?
Yes, I was just rescued from the secret cabin.
I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Gatto, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? You ask me, Your Honor? It's like she went back to the hell she came from. Huh. It seems that Mr. Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Aya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. Tragedy in Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. Be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing? It's weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Yeah, well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. And that's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Korean channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult?
Oh my god!
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. Many of which involve you, Mr. Wright. Frankly, I think I need to stop presiding over cases that have you defending them. In all that time, I've finally learned this one thing. Each case is different. It takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. That's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment on the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
God, I swear to God.
Gato, don't you...
You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Gato?
That's trial. It isn't over yet. That's what he means.
What? That's right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger and gun from the storeroom and...
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Just as Della Hoffman was about to attack Maya, he was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. It is stolen. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? God, I just condemned a soul to hell. I don't think you should be making me mad right now. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence. No way. Yeah, but this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. Prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. Mystery of who killed Misty Faye. Indeed!
Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor?
Of course it's alright. Madame Terribly. Very well then. Where's this final witness? Ha! Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder took place! The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. Do you mean Maya? You can't! She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. Prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand. Very well. First we'll take a brief recess, after which Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Wright, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. Got some nerve. That's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough! This court is now in recess. We do get bailed out by Mia a lot, Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
February 10th, 2:56 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1.
I am truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the Sacred Cavern.
I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the Sacred Cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never get any love from our father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes, I wanted to be useful for her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly.
But things didn't end up there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people... You must mean...
Yes, two defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing I have to ask you.
Yes? What is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Stoneham, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the light-out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. I got on the snowmobile and headed to the inner temple. But
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
exactly. Oh my god, I'm going to hell.
Yeah. Me
It
too.
was me. I was the one that received her body. Murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff at mystical level was held.
I knew it. The actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead to Mr. Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Chichito. I wiped out the blood of the staff blade and left the next unhook to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see. Some staff updated in the court record. Defendant!
Yes,
Judge is calling you. Wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
alright. Well then, I'll see you later.
I'll pray for you. Talking to the judge is a fucking nightmare.
There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. I think she wants to tell me. What do women want to tell people?
Uh,
My shirt's on
uh,
backwards. There's been something in my hair or my teeth this whole time. A funny joke you heard? So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning.
Phoenix.
Ah! Oh god! Mia! Never gonna get used to that. Hi. How is Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Donham really was?
Yes, I went to the medical office and talked to her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Phoenix, she needs to know our mother is dead now, officially. Maya's stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it.
I know, but her dead hot sister telling her about her now dead mother? There'd be a lot to
Phoenix.
drop on a person.
Jay, you stopped the stream again. Oh, okay.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure the answer out by yourself.
Oh, but I'm terrible at that!
The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet?
It's Gumshoe, right? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her. But still, I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. The criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning.
And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple's side by a pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost the entire day.
Exactly. So the culprit, someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day.
That's as much I can help you. The rest of the battle is yours to win, or lose.
Oh, thanks for the vote of confidence, Mia.
You're always welcome, Phoenix.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally. It's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? Who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself. Be continued. Right now! Or actually, possibly in a few minutes, depending on whether or not we want to take 5.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stand up and stretch. Chat, stand up, stretch, go outside, take in a deep breath of air, something like that. We'll be right back. That's better. Okay, we're back. We made it.
We're back.
Made it. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be over.
Ah!
Okay, let me switch back over. This and this.
Let's do this. Whew.
Alright, here we go. February 10th, 3:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh, yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. That's the weapon Maya Fey used when she fought the victim. So, what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or...? Yeah, due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. Blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Dagger updated in the court record.
The blood doesn't match with the victims.
I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but the trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. But I've heard the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness.
Hey, baby. It's Lucy.
Witness, please tell us your name and profession.
IFA. Profession is,
Being very small.
and I was being accused of murder. I'm the assistant manager at the Wright and Co. law offices.
Maya. Yes, Phoenix, that is Maya. Probably.
Yes, Phoenix.
According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The fake clan. I don't want any more to do with this.
Maya. Hey, the pain that the Fae bloodline causes must be unbearable. These fuckers are as cursed as the Joestars. Very well. Now then, Miss Faye. The event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple. And you witnessed the moment of Elise Donham's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't,
Listen up this instant, young lady.
huh?
Your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
But
Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. Jesus. A little fucking delicacy, Gano. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. There's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Your turn. Hear your testimony. The night of the crime, exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please.
yes, Your Honor. Thanks for making my little sister cry, you
That's
dumbass.
fucking awesome.
At the Inner Temple. I was passing through the garden on the way to spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Ha! Say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. Doesn't look well at all.
Well, Phoenix, how shall I put this?
Prep room.
It was.
You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark, and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits.
Leave me, my dear. I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. It was a little too much, Judge.
Yes. I thought this person might attack me, anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought it was my last hope.
Sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I wonder what she meant by last hope.
Always press harder. What did she scream? My last hope.
Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No, that's what you said.
What? I said, what?
Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? Screamed, help me.
Yeah.
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, that's like, what do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but I did...
Sorry, that's not what I was screaming at. What did you just say? I don't know, you skipped my line too quickly.
Thanks for laughing. Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attack that was yelling at. That's why I was screaming for help.
What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh? Goodness, now you're absolutely sure of what you're saying. Find the attacker. There was another person.
I meant to keep the part of secret. Oh shit. What have I done?
Ha! It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
You never said that, DK. A ton of pressure.
We're in a court of law here. Can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to this case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
The stone lantern wasn't lit.
Yeah.
So there was a man standing behind your attacker.
Yeah.
Huh. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dolan, otherwise known as Misty Faye. Mother.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. The killer.
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No! Oh, look here.
Order in the court! Mr. Gatto, explain this! Of the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of café au lait. Café au lait? Is that even legal? The right words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon! I'm no spoony bird, I'll have you know! Must have noticed it too, Wright. Witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. Not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it. Did you say there were truly no light in the garden? Then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Yeah.
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe the person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have meant that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. Oh, order! 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 What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under such pitch black conditions? Knights, do you have any idea what you're proposing? Could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Gatto. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? Only one conclusion I could draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Ha! You took a good game, Wright. Let's see if you can walk the walk. Pitch black. Oh, what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick. Don't. Please. Stop.
Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you got. Who was the person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? It was Dick Gumshoe. No, actually,
What?
I'm about to pull a Manfred von Karma and accuse my opposing attorney. Because you know what you can see in pitch black? A glowy red eyes. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. This is... But it can't be. Ha!
Well, that's horrible.
It's a nice bit of deduction. Try it. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order! 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 Prosecutor Gatto, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ha! Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? You got a question? Ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? You saw that night. Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
What?
What?
Witness, Mr. Wright, what the fuck? Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? It's worth asking. Ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
You have too
Alright.
many rules, Mr. Yarrow.
Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone mountain had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person who did all that work all done, work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Okay, Maya, when we get home, we're gonna have a conversation about sexism. It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't get mad at me. It was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Gatto said. You're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. We're just gonna brush over the fact that I accused Gatto of murder.
Oh, he didn't disagree.
He definitely didn't disagree. You're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
To remove the blood, perhaps? There were a lot of shells around the inner temple. They are all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. How on earth would someone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. The killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. There was no need to remove that amount. It's true. Could have just scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Looks like there's some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think... The
Torches were lit and the body was gone. What? The torches were lit?
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole thing had changed.
Let's say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? Yeah, the killer probably lit them since it would be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? It's true. It's hard to see how it would be the... It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Aya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. How did she know the place had changed if it was pitch black?
Yeah.
Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
Why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? It must have been something the killer desperately wanted to hide.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence from me. For my sake.
What? They're hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. You're saying that's why the killer kept the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened.
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. What should add that to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
But that's ridiculous. Because your name was written in blood on the lantern. If the killer was hiding evidence, then why the hell wouldn't they clean that up? Body of Elise Donham was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe that all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh? And what would that be? Must have figured it out by now, Mr. Gatto. It's the message written in blood on the lantern.
Oh yeah, because you can't see the blood!
Very clearly on this, it's written very clearly on this white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Ah! You're right! Order! 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 Yeah, but Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed. It doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow and then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, and leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but the fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
Because
The killer
he
didn't notice it.
Stupid
Prosecutor
fuck.
Gatto, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that the crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
What? That doesn't make any sense! The torches were all lit and everything! There's no way any normal person would have missed something as glaring as that!
You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who could that be? Who is the person that had failed to notice the bloody writing?
It was Miles Edgeworth!
It was Dick Gumsh! No, it was Larry.
Gatto. Oh.
Mr. Gatto, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. With these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Gatto? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I'd like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Nonsense. Lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Gatto, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you?
And somehow you saw the blood on the snow.
That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Trevienne. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Somehow spilled coffee on. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Gatto. How have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor! The blood-colored stain that smeared all over the apron! That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about their bloodstain. You could see the coffee on the white apron. You couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red. Ha! Strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can see them? Well then, Mr. Gatto, Are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? It's the reason why I don't drink red tea. They don't make red tea. Like amber, maybe, but... I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Gatto is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I'm Manfred von Karmaing his ass. I finally figured out the truth. Hopefully Gatto doesn't have any hot sons. They're about my age. Like Edgeworth.
Well, Gatto is
Gatto?
hot. The coffee.
The defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Elise Stoneham, also known as Miss Misty Fey. It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Ha! Let's make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. Oh, this is rich. Do go on, try it. The answer is right there at the crime scene. The snow. Snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Aha! Could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. So he had to remove all the snow. He couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems, once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Gatto? That Maya? Oh, that was Maya.
Wait just a minute.
Maya. Dude, what is it with this?
Mr. Gatto, he isn't the killer.
Uh-oh.
After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple. Until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Okay.
Objection.
Maya. Can't testify to something like that.
What? What do you mean? I mean not...
After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. You didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please, listen to me.
Maya, you plan to cover for Gatto no matter the cost. That's the case, I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. Means we're going to hear the whole truth. I say we should not silence her. Ha! That's the dance, right? Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began trembling and my spirit left me as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the inner temple too. Pearlie was also stuck in the inner temple side at night. The next morning she looked around and couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Gatto arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearlie?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
Hey, so when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Oh, fucking, now you say that. I feel like there's been several instances in which that's exactly what's happened.
What? On! Trolley would never lie! She's a way more honest person than I will ever be!
Not something to say while you're on the witness stand, Maya. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Ha! Prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Gatto! Move on to the cross-examination. Defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright? This is highly unusual, Your Honor. Jamie, roll back the clip of us condemning Dahlia to hell. Let's get this cross-examination started. It'll be a good time, right? Lose all stuff in their temples. Find anyone. This is a weird detail. Right?
Kinda, yeah.
It feels weird. He cheered her up.
That's what Prowler said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Gatto.
Here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Ha! Without doubt, you're making me blush. It's really beginning to get on my nerves. More ways than one. The truth is, there aren't many places to look on the temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the cardon with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Godot style. And the same way, like to hand out verdicts in my own way, judge style. Ask questions, Phoenix style. Gado's investigation! You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Like my investigation went about as young as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Oh, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Faye, naturally. That and her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Could he find a stranger way to describe gravy? Then from there, you headed to the prep room. Wait a sec. Did Gato say just now? He just found his proverbial weak spot. The one thing of any importance here. Where was Gato when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Dolan. Wait. If the scroll was gravied, he wouldn't have known that was Misty.
Yeah.
He must have seen it before. Misty Faye's image is obscured. So it couldn't have been the first time he's been there. Mr. Gatto, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went to the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. The hanging scroll?
But... Mr. Goto is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Maya, I know you know who it is. But here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, just 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. And what's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Gatto, really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder. He wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye.
Wait a minute, Nick!
Yes?
Take another look. Oh, look at the top. There's a crest there.
Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. So, if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you can guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Gatto described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Gatto, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple, long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite? What is it? This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. But I knew beforehand that the crime was going to be committed.
That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak into the crime scene.
Of course Mr. Gatto knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew this plan? Yes, in fact, there was written proof. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for over a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. And you still insist that this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Gutter couldn't even know where the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit.
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center. Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Gatto. Order! 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 Mr. Gatto! You're under fire again! This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. You were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet at the same time we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect his witness. That's right. You're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. Yeah, the killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect his witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Gatto? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
It's not very hard.
It's because of my dead hot sister.
I guess you were doing your best to cover for Gatto. The same reason, huh? Okay, Wright, I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. IFA is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Francisco Von Karma! No, it's Mia.
That beautiful woman.
Maya's dead hot sister. There's a
Yes,
very
we
good
did
reason why
her.
Maya's Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Gatto is a defense attorney? With your Honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Gatto? His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? Last time someone called me by that name, over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It was my fault. It was all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Yes. Mia. Can't cry yet. Ow.
Yeah.
Only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all of her faith in her clients, that pure, sweet heart of hers. So I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. My fucking neighbors is running the vacuum! I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then, one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder. Very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight. All of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible.
It's okay, I'm rocking it. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew.
I became even sexier than I was before.
Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I love had been murdered. And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne. Ha! Little Mia. Let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so bad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, Wright. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would never have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her. You let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's how you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living? It goes by the name of Mia Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Karain village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit it. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. Pearls had known the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya. She never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fair. I especially needed the help of Iris. He was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fair.
But... how did you contact my mother? had been missing for almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government. Now that you mention it, Kini did say something to that effect. He said that the Master of the Karain had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Faye was still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
But never forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. You want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was? Look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough, but for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Mother...
That night, after the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
Well, Pearl, you going to do tonight? Well, if you would like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together.
We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up.
She was worried and followed me to the inner chapel.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. That's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As Master of Karain, Misty Faye's power was supreme. That's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. What? Is this true? And the only plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Dado. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Tright. Huh? No doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. You're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. Just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are two possible suspects right now. IFA? I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Gatto. Well, Trent, you're the real deal. Finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick. Please don't.
Maya.
I heard the whole thing. From my sister. In the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Gatto. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
I know that.
Nick.
Even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Faye, your testimony, please. It's the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I would ask for help, but Just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them. Then they disappeared all of a sudden.
Ha! Things break, Trites. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it. Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright. Proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. There is one thing that's bothering me.
She hit the attacker, and the lights went out. So then,
This bothers me.
there was a horrible scream.
What do you mean by just at that moment? You mean the moment the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
Where? What? So then, that scream came from the killer. That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let us scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, seems to make sense to me. Sounds like a reasonable deduction. I still kind of wonder. No. No. Something's wrong. Sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. Did that make sense? After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. You know, at least he knows it. At least he's finally admitting to it. Remember the testimony she just gave? Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
You couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. You're so sure about that? Then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trites. There's only one thing that I can think of. That the weapon could have been used as the weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer?
She could
The
use
blood doesn't
dick
match the
gun
victims
too.
because it's Gatto's.
Yep.
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right! I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been found from the victim. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned that it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. So you're saying that the blood of this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Gatto, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trites. Order! Order in the court! Is the end? Have I done it? Even he wouldn't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Ha! Let me ask you something, Trites. Let's just say that it turned out I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found in the morning by the detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? Even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and planted another person's blood on it. That can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That blood, it doesn't belong to me. But a chance. What?
Oh shit.
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright, then witness, continue your testimony.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Then what's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say that, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Oh god. Maya, I'm proud of you for using that word, but why are you using it on me?
Taking my revenge on you. This dagger. You said it wasn't the killer.
That's right.
But if Mr. Gotta had always been cause of the dagger, this clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes? That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily.
It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah! That's right! And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Gatto was already there waiting for them.
He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Ah! Hey, order in the court! The witness says it's true. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. Phoenix. But no one could have predicted that lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did Judge take smart pills during the last recess? He is surprisingly competent as soon as it's inconvenient for me. Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. Phoenix. That way we wouldn't get any blood on them. Phoenix. It was freezing. That's impossible, Wright. You know how cold it gets up there late at night? After a few minutes without clothes on, you'll be frozen solid. Ah!
I would froze my pee-pee off, right?
My stir stick, as it were. Ha! So that's all you've got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Like now, if Faye were here. If Faye were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If Faye were here. Oh, come on, Wright! Can you do it or not?
Can I summon Mia? Okay.
How about it? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Gatto of being the killer. Can you prove it? You got even one piece of evidence. Question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Ha! That's good. A fighter to the bitter end, right? Yes, that's good. I like that.
Well,
Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Gatto? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, right? What do I do at a time like this? It's simple. Gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright. Hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hit such a wound. If he'd been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say?
Hidden?
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. The end of the line! The final stop, right? Let's hear what you've got. Where's this location where you say the killer hid his wounds?
Right on your face.
I don't know what you're talking about. Frankly, I don't need to know. I do know that you'll never be the half the lawyer she was. But Wright's right. What was that just now? Yeah? It can't be. Living on through him.
She's his stand.
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Dragato, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Ah! Just now, saw her spirit in you. Huh? I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. Then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. You didn't care. Just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. But I thought.
Mr. Gatto.
But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. Truth is, the only person I could ever find it in my heart to forgive was me. You yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? I had really wanted to save you. There's one person I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris, your mother. I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. You know why? Real reason?
No. Why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? Night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette. Part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. Could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. I still picked up the blade. It's like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Would it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion. Fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. At one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Gatto. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando! I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Ha! You forget already? My world, the color red doesn't exist. Must be my tears. Tears? Since I woke up from my coma, I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. At this time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained it to me very carefully. I knew the risk, and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I would like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 5 years ago. Of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was gonna do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister. You only met twice.
Huh? We only met twice?
The first time you met was that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her, 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doc Swallow was killed.
No way! It can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia.
I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny.
Huh, that didn't make me want to retch. You mean...
That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance. I couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought that she might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at the moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
You already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to be a chance.
And that's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place.
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I felt that something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Noticed what?
My feelings for you. If I had found that she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Iris!
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I have something to say to you too.
Yes?
I'm not into women. You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you.
How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though, right now, one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright. Oh my fucking god! Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, at least known him. At some point I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. The charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty! Oh my fucking god, that took forever! Court is now adjourned! Wait, where's the confetti? Gumshoe! Wake up! Confetti! Oh, what? Oh god, oh no, oh I missed it. Oh, and they're walking out. Oh man, oh jeez. Oh, I really boofed this, didn't I? February 10th, 4:51 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Well, I guess it's all over. Thumbnail for this VOD. Way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand.
Of course justice was served.
Mia! Really think I'd be used to that by now.
Yes, you should. I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
I did get your boyfriend arrested for murder.
That's okay, he
I
deserved
couldn't
it.
save Mr. Armando. The man
Well,
who
he
cared
killed
so
my
deeply
mother.
for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him the only way possible.
You mean, with that verdict?
I think one day you will understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You are as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me.
Mia.
You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia.
I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday, Phoenix.
Handled lots of cases and seen lots of things. Some much more pleasant than others. Along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick,
Maya!
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Mia? What did she say?
That night when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do. This is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save anyone in the end. Come on, get it out of that gloomy face. Can't you see? It's this, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you have done for us, Phoenix.
How? You'd be so bright and chipper after all that's happened. You were brutally attacked. You even saw your own mother murdered. Ow! Francisca!
Still a softy lovey Phoenix, right?
I've been through some shit. Did you see that case? And I'm okay now. Excellent work, right?
Mr. Edgeworth, when did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where were you, Nick? Nick? I heard you fell into the river and got a nasty cold which forced him to sleepy all day.
Yes,
Nick,
he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch! Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more strength. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Franziska.
I don't suppose there's room for me in this group hug, is there? No.
No, there isn't, Larry. Go away. Oh, Larry!
What's with the, longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone. Not even once. If you're waiting for us to disagree, we're going to be here forever.
Oh, come on, Phoenix. That's not true, right, Nick?
Yes, it is.
Nick.
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Yes, you do, Larry. Squarely at the bottom.
Oh, you say Nick.
Huh? Yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Leave me out of this.
Edgeworth,
I want no part of
don't
this.
that.
What? Me? Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy? Okay, I warned you about that name. Yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. That's a compliment, right? You really mean it? And what about you, Francie? Did I draw you well too? Ah!
Tell me that again and I will beat it to death. My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon.
Is that what you call it?
Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it and that it's worth something.
Oh, you really are a miracle worker, Maya. So then you do it like you promised? You're gonna... Ah!
Don't get carried away.
I didn't even get through my sentence! Well, how about that? Painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. Painting a pearl is pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls. Where's she gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Don't get accused of murder again. Hey, Pearly!
And, Francisca, Larry, if you could also go search for Pearl for just a moment. Right.
Okay.
I need you to come into the supply closet with me. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Francisca. That's right. You lost her father fairly recently as well. I wonder what sort of handsome guy did something about that. I think I understand how she feels. Maya's a much wiser person than she appears. I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow!
Then tell me Phoenix Wright.
I'm getting to that! I was just about to say it! It's Pearl! Just put the whip down!
Tell Faye. It whips him again. And again.
Poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions. Because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fae clan. I'm sure she believed every last word. Except for the ones she didn't understand. Well, she probably believed those ones too. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. That's how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's a cruel irony that her exuberance led to this tragedy. Maya Faye's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. That's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. So she can see her smile again. Gumshoe is here to ruin the mood! Oh hey, so this is what you all were. Wow, looks like we got quite the bunch of kids. Ouch! What was that for, sir?
You missed the confetti in the court. Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win! Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sort of gone down by a teeny-weeny bit, but it's alright. I'm in reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight.
No! We go anywhere but there. Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Wow, you were surprisingly gentle with that one. You really are softening up on him. Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean... Très bien! Where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone! Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby! You're invited too! Hey, Gumshoe's in on the bit! You know, Detective, maybe you're not all that bad. Man, I just gotta stand next to this crying guy and suddenly... Sir and Mr. Edgeworth stop being so mean to me! Oh, don't forget about me. Pearl and I'll be at the loser shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Uh-oh. Oh, Maya. What's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere.
Oh, come on! Huh? Oh, but she just went back home, that's all.
2 hours away by train to the Crane Village, Gumshoe. I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
Mia, where the fuck did you leave her? I figured. She's been badly hurt by this incident. Feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal? You guys go on ahead. But what about you? Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the...
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead.
Keep us waiting, right? But keep me waiting. We won't. I won't.
Nick, could you fuck with Mr. Edgeworth later?
I've looked at...
Where should we look? Where could Pearl have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of the pearls might have gone to.
And that would be,
February 10th. Hazakura Temple. Gate.
Hazakura Temple.
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. Or else where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister Bikini.
I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight.
So she's here? Pearly is here?
She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her?
Okay. Pearly's not here.
Ah! Maya, the hanging scroll.
Someone cleaned it off.
It's gotta be pearls.
Maya!
Pearly! Why? Why did you just leave like that?
Mystic Maya!
I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother.
That's why you came here?
The least I could do, to pray for your happiness.
Well, I was about to go have dinner with Edgeworth, so you might be working.
You didn't have to do that, Pearly. Also, Nick Shadow. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But, how do I say that? I'm still happy.
You just have to lie just to make me feel better.
Like, to be fair, Maya has spent more of her life without her mother than with her, so, like, it's not like a lot's gonna change.
Yeah.
Like, as fucked up as it is to say, what? You know.
No, really, it's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you were there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya.
I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty.
Sister Bikini.
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of the Korean, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She will always be with me until the day I die. Which is going to happen today.
Which is very soon.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
Always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are supposed to follow, isn't there? Never take the charm off until the day you die.
Well, that's the master's talisman.
Thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents.
That's... a photo?
Mama.
Only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. What makes us human is that we fight for others. Who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? A true measure of what human life is worth. Defense attorneys are warriors, constantly challenged by that question. And when the battle is over, bonds that connects us are severed. We always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, pearls, Mr. Armando. Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them.
6 endearing runs in the family, it seems.
Yeah. Well, can we get going? Everyone's waiting. This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for the training anytime. Okay.
I'll stick you under a waterfall and make you dodge paintballs.
Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I will be back for more training.
Waterfall
Promise.
paintballs!
Sweet.
I know, and I won't go eat. Oh, sorry.
No, you were doing great.
Bikini's joke voice overrode the actual line.
I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master.
Paintballs!
Wait.
I'll make sure to prepare a reservation for you for 3 when you come back.
For free?
What?
Alright, we're going to have a great piece today, apparently. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance.
Okay, Mr. Maya, I will eat lots and lots of foods tonight.
Gumshoe at the table's like, oh god, something hurts.
Oh my god, my heart.
You know, there's one thing I don't get. I probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3?
Oh, come on. What do you think? You're the one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
Huh?
I'll be waiting for you.
Like holding the paintball gun.
Mr. Bikini will take special care of you.
You're a big target, Mr. Wright. Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course naturally.
Can I take one of my law books in?
No,
Huh?
you can't.
Huh?
Phoenix is doing the sound. Wait, huh?
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 We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick? Huh? Huh?
You know, I was wondering if I could say just one little thing.
Sure, of course you can.
No.
Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
I think Edgeworth is calling me. I have to go. Well then, here goes nothing. And that's that. Oh, this fucking game. This whole fucking trilogy of games. Oh god, there's more!
I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Kurain and the office manager of Wright and Colo offices. And I have to be good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up in a capture and something like that.
I can't control how the dialogue goes. It's just gonna read itself. I'm sorry if you missed something.
I know, that's why I'm reading it too fast.
Hey, Pearly. So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in his shining armor. She went through the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the 2 of them by making them a secret reservation.
Probably don't.
I have so many books to read.
You will never read those little books, Nick.
The ultra course is the waterfall paintballs.
Oh, no.
Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you just seem to the same. I guess a dirty shady all over coat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly. There were so many better ways to phrase that, detective.
You know, love makes people say stupid things. Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasure of Korean exhibition was a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Karma, who didn't speak for a while. She taught me how to use the weapons that I must show you what I learned.
Oh god, no, get out of here, Justice for All character.
Actually, no, Andrew, you can stay.
Fine.
Oh no.
Desi and I started a company called Mass to Mass Consulting.
We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of the criminals of the
Our
city.
motto is cut it out, please.
Pretty cute, huh?
Well, we also sell plans to the criminals as a side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals. That's so illegal, Ron. Like, so illegal. Oh, this Wednesday bitch.
I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for extending Don Tigre. So I lent him $5,000 in the tea. Special 60 when I mixed up my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. With tough compromise.
Oh, you're fucking... I talked about it in the case, but your viola voice is fucking terrifying, and I love it.
Thank you.
It's like, oh my god. Oh, this fucking guy.
I'm just holding it away. The wrinkly, grumpy, clown-nosed waste of flesh. Yeah, at least that's what I thought. My grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cried with a baby with a dirty diaper.
69, huh?
Because I did have one.
Oh, you.
As usual, we have the ambience to work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Good Elk. I do copper we will get along. His name is Anamura. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly.
Is it because it's also a palindrome?
Yeah. It's also because he's a Dragon Ball character.
Yeah.
My. More reporters? Since the murder, we've made so much money, hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us, because they provide such a nice visual. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back.
I brought a golden statue of myself. And I bought a second paintball gun.
I can dual wield the subbitches now.
And I brought the second Shishito.
I can train 2 disciples at once.
You've turned into such a respectable man, Finny. It is so sweet of you to everyone else to come and visit me. Of course, I was happy that you consoled my ass, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard.
Well, like Edgeworth was standing behind you a lot of the time. Okay. I think that means we're done now. Is it? I think we're done with the callbacks now. This game. Now,
It was great.
I have not been quiet on my thoughts for visual novels. However, I will admit, this was... I'm fucking getting to it, Mr. Armando. This game was better. This was significantly stronger than Justice for All. Alright, Francisca, fine, I'll talk about your game. Justice for All was not terrible. I did not enjoy it. But no, I didn't like it either, Mr. Payne. This game, however, I think was indeed strong. And... fucking Larry. Oh!
Oh no, it's worse.
What's this? Yeah, I'm back from a long and tiring vacation and no one's here to greet me? I guess when I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit, and now I've got no one. And what kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? What with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought back for everyone? If I read them over an I know exactly what to say the instant I saw them. I really can't accept this, I'm afraid someone just paid with this fragile heart. No, what am I going to find General Drew like a fine lady?
I think of the Ace Attorney games I've played, this one isn't my favorite. Mostly because of this man. I finally found something I love to do! Francis' whippity whip trip is gonna turn the whole art world on its head! I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. Larry, you have a terrible perception on artists. I know so many artists, and every single one of them is like 7 times the person you are.
But this one is...
This one is okay. It helps to have strong subject matter. And this one I saw when I was high as hell. Like, I was seeing ghosts, man. Really hot ghosts. Even though I think Gato's still alive. There we go. Bridge to the turnabout complete, and a lawyer only cries once it's all over. Clear all of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Okay. This fucking game. I don't like visual novels. I don't think I'm ever going to compromise on that. However, I understand why this game has the following it does. There are some very strong characters. There's a lot of really cool character designs on display here. And when this game is doing what it does best, you feel like a genius. You feel really smart, and you get right into that music and reading along with Phoenix's deductions. Unfortunately, when this game is at its worst, it is painful to sit through. And maybe I just don't remember the good bits of Justice for All. But if I wouldn't tell someone to skip Justice for All, I would tell them to find a way to skip the third case. This game has some incredible highs, however, and I don't want to give those anything but their fair due. This final case, pretty much the entirety of this game was strong, save for that second Mia case in Terry Falls that I just didn't like. That, and of course a lot of the first game was still amazing. And this game does accomplish what it sets out to do. It's a legal drama, absurd commentary on the justice system, with a lot of, I assume, unintentional homoeroticism that eventually had to have eventually become intentional. Like, Edgeworth chose the word partner very purposefully. But it's difficult to say I want to come back to this series. Especially given some of the things I've heard about the other games, in particular Apollo Justice. Maybe I will come back to the Ace Attorney trilogy someday, and I still think this is a great series, and I think that if what you hear of it is something you'll enjoy, then you should check it out. I don't hate Phoenix Wright, and I don't hate the Ace Attorney trilogy. I don't think I want to play it again, but it's not for me. However, it is a game that accomplishes exactly what it's setting out to do, and I could never fault it for that. When I finished Justice for All, I was going to tear into this game. When I finished Trials and Tribulations, when I finished Justice for All, I was planning to, at the end of this series, rip this series apart for all of its flaws and all the things I'd never want to see again. But I almost don't think it's worth it. I think that I did like this game, but I think I'm okay never playing it again. I think that this game is a lot of fun if you have the right people to play it with. And I am endlessly thankful that I was lucky enough to be in that sort of situation. Because I would not have been able to get through this game without my friends. Mostly, of course, Witchy being here for almost every single Ace Attorney stream since the first game. I cannot thank you enough for your support. And you in chat, thank you for coming. Those of you watching the VOD, in the future, thank you for keeping up.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to play this game again. But now that we're at the end, I am glad I did. And maybe that's all it needed to be. Next week, on Wednesday, at 5 p.m. or at 8 p.m. EST, I will be continuing Yakuza 5 Remastered Legend difficulty. However, next Saturday, I will not be here. Certain events that I won't go into detail on, and that I would attempt to avoid if I could, but unfortunately, they simply can't be negotiated. I will not be present. That does include the week after that. So, just as a reference, I will post this where applicable later, but next week on Wednesday, I will be present. But November 18th, 22nd, and 25th, I will be gone and unable to stream. I will miss you all, but
And we will be waiting for you.
I will be back. Until then, Witchy, thank you so much for joining me. Chat, thank you so much for joining me. VOD watchers, thank you for coming out. Witchy, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I'd just like to say it was a huge honor for me to be with you on those streams with Phoenix Wright. And people in the chat, it was so nice to have you all here with us. So thank you very much for your support and for supporting Jay. It means a lot to us, to him especially.
It was lovely
and I
having
think
you
that
all.
is all.
It was lovely having you all. And until next time, I've been Jay Tetsuka Rose, and this has been the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I'll see you all next time, whatever it is I'm doing.
Bye bye!
Bye-bye!